Hey, it's your boy, the Dank Memer here. Pretty cringy. Anyways, today I'll be showing you my Xeon build and what I used and what parts I used to build the Xeon build. Okay, let's first get right into it. The overall cost of this whole Xeon build was around $300. Parts and everything, alright? Next, here are the parts I used in my Xeon build. First, I have a W3680 clocked at 4.1 gigahertz. It has 12 megabytes of cache and it's pretty fast for what I got for it. Next, I have a GTX 1050 Ti with 4 gigabytes of RAM, and the core clock, I overclocked it to 1.9 gigahertz with the 2.1 gigahertz memory overclock. Next, I have 12 gigabytes of RAM at 1303 megahertz, and it's DDR3 RAM. All my fans are Cooler Master, and my cooler is a GAMX 400 cooler. It cools the CPU pretty well. I usually get over 50 degrees Celsius on load, and when I idle, it's around 20 degrees to 30 degrees. Next, I did a benchmark, a quick one, on what the CPU usually gets. Okay, so let's see. For the i7-3960X, this CPU gets 1,473 for the points, and the i7-3960X gets 1,250. For multi-core score, the W3680 gets 8,790, and the i7-360X gets 7,600. Overall, I'm pretty sure on eBay, the CPU costs a lot more than the W3680, and the W3680 on eBay goes for $100. Next, I'll be showing you another CPU, which is the FX 9590 from AMD. AMD's top of the line CPU, which I'm pretty sure is clocked at 4.8 to 4.7 gigahertz. I don't remember. So this means that my CPU has a way better IPC ratio, and I have a way better single core performance and multi core performance for $100. I'm pretty sure the CPU goes for around $200 right now. So, I think, in my opinion, if you're gonna go for a Xeon build, for a budget build, just go Xeon. Don't go AMD. Because you could get way better for the money with Xeon. You could get X5650 or W3680 or W3670 or any kind of those Xeons. And I'm pretty sure you'll just outperform any of those AMD builds that are out there right now by a lot. Just look at the performance scores. It's crazy, NVIDIA on multi-core and single-core performance. By a good bit on single-core performance, not to mention. Okay, next. Next, I'll also show the FX8350, which everyone always talks about. So, the FX8350 pretty much gets crushed by the W3680 on single core performance and multi core performance at 4 gigahertz. Mine's at 4.1 gigahertz, but that's only 0.1. And the IPC ratio on the W3680 Xeon West Mirror architecture is a lot better. So, it's understandable. The Bulldozer CPUs are more equivalent to Bloomfield architecture, in my opinion. Next, I'll also show FX6300, I guess. So FX6300, I guess, is around the price range of a W3680, right? It's around $100. So why not show it? So at 4.1 gigahertz, the W3680 smacks this stuff. It literally smacks it. With a 1,400, over 1,400 single core score and an over 8,000 multi core score. It's pretty fucking fast, Okay. So overall, I think Xeons are a lot better for budget builds just by looking at these benchmarks. And if you look at these benchmarks, you'd also see that. Next, which I should look at. Okay, here's a 5960X score. My scores get wrecked on the multi-core performance, but at 4.1 gigahertz were really close, really close. Like, I usually actually get over 1,500 points when I start playing games, because for some reason when the CPU gets hotter, I get better scores. I usually get 8,900 on the multi-core, 1,510 or so on the single core score when everything gets a little bit hot. I don't know why, it just does that. I'm getting pretty good performance scores, so yeah. Also, to prove that it's clocked at 4.1 gigahertz, I'm getting these scores. Yep, right there. Just saw it. You saw 4.1. So I'm not lying. I didn't like overclock it even more just to get those scores. Yeah, these are the scores it's getting at this overclock. It's crazy. I literally just don't see why anyone would go for an AMD budget build today. I don't see why. It's just overall just crazy. Like, for $50, you could get X5650, same architecture as this CPU. It's just lower clocked, and you could overclock it to 4.2, 4.4 gigahertz. I saw. It's a little. It depends on your on the lottery, on the silicon lottery. But anyways, you could overclock it that high, and you could get like about the same performance as my CPU. If you get overclocked, if you could get to 4 gigahertz, you could really smash anything, anything. You know, just wrecking shit. The X 650 is about a little bit faster than FX 8350 at stock clocks for $50. It's fucking crazy, you know? It's crazy. And these are the scores I'm getting. Like I said, even at stock clocks, the i7-3960X, I beat it by 10 points. It's pretty good, you know? And I also beat it on a multi-core score as well. At stock clocks, at 3.6 gigahertz, I beat it, which is pretty good. No. Then again, in my opinion, the i7-3960X obviously has the better IPC ratio, you know, so. That's about it for this Xeon build. And like I repeat, I got this whole Xeon build for about $300. $300, all right? And I first started off with this motherboard with the i7-930. Like, I got my CPUs in here. Boom, boom. You know? Yeah. So I had the i7-930 in here. I swapped it out. You know, it's pretty good. I got a pretty good fucking deal on this shit, man. So I'm just saying right now, if you want to go budget build, for nowadays, you could get a $80 Intel X58 motherboard for around like, yeah, $80. And you could get a $100 CPU like a W3680, or an $80 CPU like a W3670, or a $50 CPU like an X5650. And they all perform the same at around 4 gigahertz because they're all Western architectures. All right, they're all the same architecture, everything. So I'm just saying this right now. If you want to go budget build, go Xeon. You'll be getting way more of the performance than any of these builds here. Like, I already showed you. Really? Like, even this one. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. FX8150. That's pretty old, though. It's fucking wrecking this shit. Every fucking, like, it's really crazy, you know? Yeah, fine. i5 2500K. Wrecking it. But then again, that CPU is pretty old. So i5 2500K is no slouch, though. You know, at 4 gigahertz, that shit fucking wrecks too. And it's a good budget CPU as well, but not as good as the Xeons, in my opinion. So yeah, today that's about it. If you're gonna go budget build, go Xeon. Don't go, well, you could go AMD, but you're not gonna get your money's worth, in my opinion. You could get way better. You could get like 4th gen performance, 5th gen performance for $50 to $100. It's fucking crazy. So, not to mention, this CPU could go over all the way up to 4.7 gigahertz. So, imagine what I could get at 4.7 gigahertz, but my motherboard's limiting me. But if I fucking overclock this shit, man, the 4.7 gigahertz, it'd be crazy. I'd literally be smacking shit left and right. Alright? So yeah, that's about it. This is my Xeon build. See you guys later.